Hi friends, welcome back to Nessa's Nook. So today I'm going to be making some of the cinnamon roll cake. My friend Rhoda over at Peace Be Still, she made this. My sister over at City Girl Homestead, she made it also. And I've been really hungry for some cinnamon rolls, so I thought this is as good a time as any to go ahead and try this. I guess Rhoda got this from some magazine. I don't know exactly what magazine, so I can't give that magazine credit because I don't know. But I'll bring it down here and I'll show you what we're doing. Alright, so what it calls for is actually one quarter cup of melted butter. So I go ahead and I melted that real quick because I'm going to have to use the same measuring cup for my milk. Alright. And it called for 3 cups of flour. Now I don't have the unbleached, I just have the regular on-purpose flour. So I'm going to go ahead and push that down there. Two. Three. Alright, then it calls for 1 cup of sugar. And then it calls for 4 teaspoons of baking soda, or baking powder. And I actually have one that's actually a 4, so that's kind of cool. Saves you a little bit of time. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Alright. And that's it on the dry stuff. Go ahead and give that a little bit of a stir. I should have probably put the butter in there, but I'll stir this up as good as I can real quick with just the butter. Alright, that calls for 1.5 cup of milk. Go ahead and put that in there. And then it goes ahead and calls for 2 eggs. You wipe off my fingers. I never like the feeling of the egg stuff being on my fingers. Alright, I go ahead and mix this up. Now obviously I could have got out my KitchenAid and we could have mixed everything all up nicely in that very quickly. But when I was watching Rhoda pull this all together, it seemed to pull together very, very quickly. Oh, I forgot the vanilla. Sorry about that. It's going to be 2 teaspoons of vanilla too. Thought I was forgetting something. Hers looks a little bit more yellow than mine. Alright, and I already do have the oven over there. I have my June preheating at 350. Now, she says on the bottom of hers that it could actually take up to 40 minutes to cook. I went out and bought a timer for my June, thinking that it was just my June was off, but it seems like it is, so I don't know for sure exactly what's up with that. I mean, I wouldn't have bought a thermometer. Was what my husband just said. See if I can whisk some of those bigger pieces to make this a little bit more smooth. That's one reason I do like on cakes. I do like to use my KitchenAid. But a lot of people say I have too many gadgets. I use too many gadgets, so I do like to do stuff by hand once in a while. Not often, but once in a while. Alright, now go ahead and work on that for a couple more minutes, and I'm going to get this other part started here. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and work on the cinnamon part of this. So it says 2 tablespoons of flour. Not for sure why I asked for flour in this, but I'm just going with it. Alright, then I asked for 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. Alright. And then it calls for 1 cup of packed brown sugar. And it calls for 1 cup of room temperature butter. So what you're doing is you're kind of like mixing this all together. I think I should have used a different spoon. Let me push this stuff out of here. I'll be right back. Let me push that stuff out real quick. Alright, I got as much as I could out of that whisk. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll be mixing this together. And hopefully this mixes together pretty nicely here. I think I'm still going to go for a spoon. This is why I don't bake much, folks. I do not feel like I'm much of a baker. I mean, I do try occasionally. You know, I have made homemade cinnamon rolls, and I make my own bread sometimes and things like that. I don't know why this does not seem to be as pliable as hers. So I'm just going to have to mix with my clean hands. Get that all nice and mixed, and then of course re-wash my hands for the bazillionth time. And this is the reasons why also when people say, well, why do you use so many gadgets? When I know when I mix with my KitchenAid, I do feel like I am actually getting things mixed and mixed properly and so on very quickly. I know some people, they like to touch their food with their hands and they like to have that just be part of them, but that's not the necessity for me. Let me put this on pause, wash my hands. I'll be right back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my butter wrappers, and with what butter was left on there, I'm going to go ahead and butter this pan. And get this all ready. And it's a good way to use up the leftover butter that's on the packages too. So I did get the lumps out as much as I possibly could. And go ahead and pour the cake in here. I really hope this turns out as good as Rhoda's did, because it looked absolutely amazing. And kind of spread this out a little bit. Alright, and I guess what you do is you just drop these drops of the sugar throughout here. Because what you're going to be doing is swirling that in there. And hopefully y'all won't have too bad of comments on this, because like I said, I'm not a baker. I do not feel comfortable baking. My daughter is the baker of the family. I know I need to try to learn some things, and it does scare me. And especially making things the first time online. in front of all you that a lot of you are really good bakers. So then what I'm going to do is take and swirl. I don't know why hers seemed like it was more liquidy. I don't know why my stuff was out. It was room temperature. There it goes, some of the swirls. And you just like swirl that in there according to her video. I will tag her video in here. Also, I did forget to say that when I did my brown sugar, that is actually my own homemade brown sugar. I do have videos of that also. And of course, mine is not turning out anywhere near as pretty as hers, because for whatever reason, her sugar mixture was not as like non-runny or whatever. I don't know, hers wasn't runny, but I don't know what you can call it. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this put in the June, and I will be back once this is actually physically out. Okay, friends, so the cake ended up looking okay. I think a lot of the cinnamon actually got like a little bit in the middle, but like I said, try to be a little bit nice. I don't bake, so kind of bear with me. And then what you're just supposed to just do is drizzle the icing while the cake is still warm over the cake here. And when this cools off just a little bit more, Mark and I is going to come out here and take a bite and tell you what we honestly think of it. Because like I said, I love cinnamon rolls. So that's going to go ahead and set there. I'll let that finish cooling off there for a little bit, and we'll be right back. All right, Mark's going to go ahead and take a piece out.
And my hands are clean.
That's his piece. I'll take the center piece because I like center pieces. All right. His fork. Now this is still warm, so we'll come over here and tell you what we honestly think. Hopefully I can taste this really good.
This is very good. Very yummy.
Oh my gosh, it does taste like a cinnamon roll.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much easier this is to make the cinnamon rolls are? That is really good.
Yep. Very good, guys.
Mmm.
I
will be making this again for sure. You think so?
I think so.
I think this would be really great to take to any like family functions, because who don't love a good cinnamon roll, real honestly. And not everybody would have this for like a cake for a family get together. So yeah, thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you, Rhoda, for posting this. And like I said, you guys try to be nice to me because I don't bake. It did turn out okay. I mean, obviously, my cakes and stuff are not ever going to be as pretty as somebody else's because I'm not a baker. But thank you very much for stopping by. I hope you all have a very blessed and wonderful day.